Especially the star. Yes. Oh, there he is.
Ouch, shoot that garlic.
Everything is really hot, so you need to be careful.
Including the star.
Oh my. Do you have something on the front of your shirt?
Oh, yeah, mustard. Welcome back to another edition of Cooking Chris's Dishes with the good old boy, where we're cooking up dishes straight from recipes.crock.com, which is my beautiful wife's cooking blog that has well over 500 recipes and rising. And Crock Posse, today we're going to have a little taco casserole, a delicious taco casserole. You ever just want to eat some Mexican food, but you're like, I don't want to drive to a Mexican restaurant, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not. This is a recipe that's good. And you can have it right here at home, and it's real quick. You know how I know it's real quick? Because I got to jump in the truck here in about 15 minutes and get to work, and I need to put something on for dinner tonight before I go. And I'm going to do it just like this. You're going to need the following. 1 pound of ground beef. A pound of ground beef. Right here in the crock pot, I've got it cooking right now, and it is hot. You need an envelope of taco seasoning. We're using Penzeys taco seasoning, so I'll use 4 tablespoons of that. You need 1/2 cup of water. You need a can of pork and beans. If you don't have pork and beans, you want to use pinto beans, you can.
Chili beans.
And then you also need an 11-ounce can of Mexicorn. Regular corn will work just fine. We got to the Mexicorn. You need a can of cheddar cheese soup. You also need a cup of milk. And then 2 cups of shredded cheese, which you're going to go get for me.
Well, that's at the end.
Oh, wait. That's in here already.
Yes. That's
right. 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese or mozzarella cheese, whatever kind of cheese you want to have. Mozzarella melts down really good over the top of it. And that's 1 bag, by the way, of cheese usually. And then also 2 cups of crushed chili cheese fritos. I don't know exactly if there are 2 cups in here or not, because when I came home...
Would you like to confess something to us?
I haven't even told my wife this yet, but there's probably 1.5 cups in here.
I think your wife knows.
Last night I got home from work and I was hungry, so I made myself a hot dog. And I got mustard on my shirt, my brand new Crock Posse shirt. And, you know, you got to have chips with hot dogs. And I looked over and was like, oh, there's chili cheese Fritos. We never have those in the house. So I ate chili cheese Fritos, and there's still a little left. And then, of course, we're going to put this over lettuce with some tomatoes on top. So you dress it however you want to, but it goes a little something like this. You want to brown up some ground beef. Right here is a pound of browned ground beef.
Or you could use our Make Ahead ground beef as well.
Yes, and we will put a link to that at the bottom of the Make Ahead ground beef. It's got all kinds of goodness in it. And then the next thing I want to do is scroll through the recipe. This is my first time to make it by myself here. You want to mix your water and your taco seasoning together. So I will take 4 tablespoons into my 1/2 cup of water. There's a 1 tablespoon. There's a 2 tablespoons. There's 3 tablespoons. And 4 tablespoons. The count, Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? And I'll mix it up real good. Grab myself a complicated stirring device known as a fork. And just stir it in until it all gets mixed up. And I'm going to put that right over my pound of ground beef. Right there. And I'll give that a little, get that out of there. We'll give it a little stir up. Until all the ground beef's covered in all of that taco seasoning. Ooh, that's a spicy seasoning too. I can smell that now. Alright, now once that's all stirred up, we'll go on to the next little movement. And that is to pour your pork and beans and your Mexicorn over the top of your ground beef. So just kind of as evenly as you can over the top of it. And my Mexicorn. Notice I didn't drain anything. Doesn't say to drain it. Instructions didn't say to do it, so I didn't do it. If you wanted to, I'm not going to get mad at you.
Yeah, if you want a drier casserole, you could leave the water out and just sprinkle the taco seasoning on there, and you could drain everything. This is going to be something you would serve with probably a slotted spoon over your lettuce. Yeah. So
Now I want to mix my soup and my milk together.
Oh my. Oh my.
I love that sound. It's so fun.
Oh, honey.
Oh.
You're flinging cheese everywhere.
Oh no.
You know, that makes, they make the other side of that spatula.
Yeah, but that's my hand side, and
Oh!
you're just nervous I'm gonna make a mess. You know I'll clean that up later.
Uh-huh.
And your milk over the cheese soup. I'll give that a little stir, actually.
You might use your fork again.
I think I might use my fork again. My complex stirring device, and get milk all over the place.
And again, if you want this to be thicker and less liquid in the finished product, then just reduce your milk.
Yep. Getting all over.
You are properly destroying the kitchen today.
And then once you get that all mixed up and you've flung cheese and milk everywhere, pour that all over your camera.
Oh my goodness.
All over the top.
Oh my goodness.
This is not necessarily a non-messy recipe. Or maybe it's just me. Who knows? I got a lot to clean up later. Alright. And then you want to put a lid on it.
Yep.
And you want to break stuff. I'm off my game today. You want to clean up your little workstation here. Clean it off your face when you get it flung over your face. And you want to set that on low for, let's see, it says cook, no, well, yeah, it says low for 5 to 6 hours. And then, I guess, could you do it on high?
You could do it on high. You're wanting a little bit of the liquid to cook off. So I would even say you probably could go 8 or more hours on it. But you can cook it on high, probably 4 to 6.
Okay. And then, about 15 minutes before you're going to serve this wonderful dish up, that's when you want to take your 2 cups of cheese, your 1 bag of shredded cheese, whatever kind of cheese you like. Like I said, we recommend mozzarella, because
it's gonna have lots of liquid on it.
It's gonna be a
Don't
little
pour it on
stringy.
there. Yeah.
Do that.
There
And look at that. That is pretty. That is a taco casserole. And then once you get your cheese melted,
You need to crunch them.
you want to take your chili cheese Fritos, your 2 cups of chili cheese Fritos, or in my case, you're about a cup and a half.
Or whatever your husband has left.
Whatever your husband hasn't eaten. My bad. Get them all crumbled up real good, you know. We're going to give that a little crunch on top. And you take your Fritos. I had a buddy in high school that a horse stepped on his foot and it cut off his pinky toe and his ring finger toe. So that was his nickname in high school, was Fritos. See, we had just enough to go over the top of that casserole. 2 cups would have been too much.
No, it wouldn't. You're going to want to serve it with extra, too.
It's good, too.
Now, if you're going to do this and have leftovers, you could always keep your Fritos in the pantry, safely marked, don't eat.
You might hide them
And
in
then
a safe.
You could reheat leftovers of this, and that way your Fritos wouldn't get... Don't put it on the top at the end. Just top it. Top your...
See, that's kind of...
It's going to be very soupy, yeah.
Cheese melted on top
But
of
it's going over lettuce, kind of like a taco salad. It's kind of a little bit like a walking taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is the way I would put salad dressing on a taco. Or on a lettuce. This is my favorite kind of salad dressing.
Yeah, but if you don't want it that soupy and you want it more casserole-like, like maybe you're not going to serve it necessarily over lettuce, then you can just cut the liquids out.
Yeah. Top that with a few more tomatoes.
Yeah. Be good with sour cream and guacamole. extra Fritos, like I said, if you had them.
Somebody's gonna give me lots of flack for eating all the
Taco
Fritos.
sauce would be good with it too. You can top with whatever you want.
Yeah. So stab me some lettuce. Give me some of that.
And we like to serve it with romaine lettuce. Just that's our preference.
There we go. Taco casserole. Oh yeah.
I remember when you had it the other night, you were like, "Oh my gosh!"
That is so good.
And he's like, "We've got to do this on video."
I made that. You can say that too. Make that, eat that, and then say, "I made that." Go to a Mexican restaurant, they make that. It's still good, but when you can do this yourself.
I would dare say this is a little Americanized, honey. I don't know that you would get this at a Mexican restaurant.
America. I'm okay with it.
That's all right. We like all kinds of food. We're not picky.
That is so good. Okay, so of course there's meat in it. My favorite. And it's got that taco seasoning, which is really good. And when you cook that on low for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, however long, that taco seasoning is just gonna soak into that meat. So you get that little spicy flavor. It's not hot whatsoever, but it's a spicy seasoning. And then, it's soupy, so it runs down into the lettuce, and so everything kind of incorporates itself. But because you top the Fritos on top at the last minute and you're putting it over the top of fresh lettuce at the last minute, it's not soggy. It's real crunchy. It's, you've got that chew from the beef, you've got that cheesy flavor from the soup, and of course you taste the sweetness of the corn.
And you questioned me on the pork and beans.
I did, but honestly, the pork and beans are being real good.
Yeah, they've got like a tomato flavor in them, and
there's a crunch on the top, there's a crunch on the bottom, there's a sweetness from the corn. This is perfect. This is a good lunch. Thank you for making me make this. But it took about 5 minutes to put it together.
Yeah.
A few hours to cook it. This is something you could set on low, go to work, come back, top it.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, you're ready for dinner.
If you're not a Fritos fan, like if you don't like chili cheese Fritos, you could use regular Fritos, or
any kind of corn chips or anything like that.
You could use Doritos, or
I will.
Or you could just use regular corn chips.
If you like spicy, use a spicy chip on top.
Yeah.
If you want something that's gonna, like I said, there's no real heat to that at all. So if you like a little heat with your Mexican dishes. Maybe you can put Tabasco sauce in it, or go get yourself some of those Doritos, like the fiery Doritos, or
good idea.
Something that's got some spice. That way you'll have it on top of that crunch. It's really, really good.
But
I
you gotta
highly
hide
recommend
it from
this.
your husband.
Yes, you have to hide it from your husband. But that right there, that's a winner. I would give that one a 10 out of 10. I definitely like that dish. So I know you guys will too. And we want to thank you for watching another edition of A Cookin' of Chris's Dishes with the Good Old Boy. We want to thank the Crock Posse for joining in. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're from. Give us a comment. Give us a like down below. Subscribe if you're not a member of the Crock Posse. We welcome one, welcome all. And we want to thank you guys again for watching, because if y'all keep watching, we will keep cooking. And all will be well. Thanks, y'all. Bye.